The Packers have played their 4 quarters. Now it's time for the 5th quarter.
Happy days are here again. Well, a happier Monday than we've had in a month. Packers over the Bears, 23-16. Red Hundley easily his best of his 3 starts for the Pack, and they get back above water at 5-4. We got a lot of good things to talk about tonight. As Matt C's alongside as usual. Hello there, Matt.
Hello.
And we got plenty of reason for you folks to get wound up tonight. Our friends from Robinson are doubling down tonight. Robinson's Heating and Cooling giving us not only 1 pair, but 2 pair of tickets, including a pair to the indoor clubs this weekend. So bring on the snow.
Yeah,
Thank you, Daryl.
Forget that the win yesterday against the Bears stopped the losing streak. It also inspired Robinson Heating and Cooling to be more generous.
They felt so badly about the last 3 games that they just caved.
But love the fans that showed up week after week and then said, hey, you know what, we'll treat you a little nicely.
And, well, we do treat you. We treat fans at this show better than any show in America, ladies and gentlemen. We got over almost $1,000 worth of stuff to give away tonight. Well, the tickets are 75% of that. But nonetheless, plenty of reason to come on down. Glad you are with us. Packers get it done. And Geronimo, the wide receiver, Geronimo Allison, will be joining us in a couple of minutes as well. All right, it's a win, but it's the Bears. It's the Bears. You know, they haven't been out of the basement in the NFC North since 2013. They've been living in the basement. Unbelievable.
I would have thought it was longer than that.
It sure feels longer than that.
Doesn't it?
Those lovable Bears. But I tell you what, there was a lot to like about this Packer win for a couple of reasons. One, they went out and put together a plan, and they made corrections from last week against Detroit. They ran the ball a season-high 37 times, and they had 3 running backs go, and we'll update you on all the running back situation. But Jamal Williams ran tough. They made explosive plays in the passing game. And to tell you the truth, that touchdown toss to Devontae was Aaron Rodgers-like.
Beautiful
Extended
throw.
play,
Throw.
beautiful communication, breaking off the route, in route. Devontae peels off. Brett makes the back shoulder. Perfect spot, twisting catch, beautiful. Defense, the run defense. They knew the Bears were going to run the ball because that's about all they can do well with Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. And the Packers snuffed it out. They had 55 yards rushing, and they had 25 on 1 carry. And they had 10 tackles for losses. It was a really solid job. They got the Bears behind the chains, and Mitchell Trubisky's a rookie quarterback. They dial up blitzes. They went 5-on-5, a lot in the pass rush, and unlike against Detroit, with an experienced quarterback who beat it with very good throws on time in Matthew Stafford, Trubisky couldn't make those plays on time against just an awful wide receiving core.
Right.
And the Packers got it done. Granted, there are still some issues with this team that kept the Bears in this ballgame. But you have to feel better about the incremental progress. And we've been talking about it for 3 weeks, Matt. It's going to be painfully slow progress for Hundley and this offense and the rest of this team to try and stay above water, maybe long enough to stay in the race into December, and then we'll check on Mr. Rogers' collarbone again.
Yeah, what's been nice to see with Brett Hundley is he's really taken steps in each game, right? This game, they needed him to make a couple of clutch plays. He did it twice with his arm and did it once with his feet.
All in the fourth quarter, which was the most impressive part for me. In crunch time, he made those plays.
So that was nice to see that he can handle that situation and that Mike McCarthy trusts him in a 3rd and long when you think, okay, just run the ball, eat some clock, burn a timeout, what have you. No, we're going to take a shot, and he connects. I mean, that's a big builder to look out on film and have confidence for a play call.
Remember the game-winning touchdown in Dallas where they threw to Adams in the end zone and it didn't quite get there, and Devontae went back to the huddle and said, we're running this again?
Yep.
Same thing yesterday. It's 3rd and 10. They almost have a delay of game penalty. They take a timeout. They had that play called, that shot play. Adams says, run that shot play. Kyle Fuller's been up in my face, jamming me, and I've been getting separation. We just haven't hit it, but I know I can do it. Just throw it up there, and I'm going to go get it. Set him up beautifully when the ball was in the air and used his athleticism to pull down the 42-yarder.
A one-handed catch.
Yeah.
Because Fuller was holding his left arm. So, pass interference, it's not called, but he makes that catch. So that was really nice to see with Hundley. Also nice to see the Packers defense really hear some criticism in the last couple of weeks, pass rush,
criticism?
that sort of thing. And
hashtag fire who?
Dial up the heat. Nick Perry has a monster game. You get 5 sacks, but plenty of pressure all day long on Trubisky.
There was a lot of
as well.
pressure, and there were some decent coverage sacks.
And you stopped the run early and often. You took away the number one weapon the Bears have. You made it non-existent. And then, as you said, the receiving core is not what the Lions have. It's not what the Saints have.
Gosh.
And that quarterback is a rookie who's still learning, so you really put them in tough situations.
They may have their leading target yesterday just joined the team. I mean, that's how bad it is. But it's tough. But nonetheless, a win's the thing. And, boy, they need that. Packers over the Bears. So lots to talk to. Boy, Geronimo's already here getting writer's cramp, which is good to see. We'll bring him on in a couple of minutes. But we got to head to the locker rooms to Soldier Field on a very rainy, raw day in Chicago on the Lakeshore, where head coach Mike McCarthy could finally say, finally.
Definitely feels good to win. It's been a couple weeks. Very proud of our football team. Throughout the week, excellent week of preparation, and it's nice when you're able to cash in on that. So I thought we played well in all 3 phases. The ability to run the football at the most critical times in the games, I thought was a real tribute to our run blocking unit and our running backs. I thought Jamal had a heck of a day there. And I thought Brett Hundley played his best game of the year.
Yeah, I think so. We'll get to Jamal in a minute. But for Hundley, 18 of 25, 212, 1 touch, no picks, 110.8 passer rating. That's almost 3 times what he had put up in his 2 games and 3 quarters. Hundley, very solid, efficient numbers, getting his first win in his 3rd start.
It feels amazing. It's truly a blessing, especially to come in and especially a rivalry game. There was a lot going into this game. I just thank the team, not only the offensive line, receivers, running backs, but the defense played their butts off too. And, I was able to do what I do because of them. And I just want to thank them because they played one heck of a game. And we played for 60 minutes, and that was our goal coming into it. And, we got the W.
What?
No,
You're
nothing.
Smiling. Nothing.
No, I'm just smiling, that's all.
Didn't really break down the game, but, he's like that. That's kind of his personality.
And it was nice that you give credit to the team.
Yeah.
Team first.
Yeah.
Give it to them and
roll
from there.
That's true. Davante Adams made the 2 big grabs in that 4th quarter and said, that was the best part of Hundley's game. Answering Chicago scores to keep the Packers in front.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, answering is a huge thing in this league, because if you don't answer, that's when, the other team scores, and then you don't score, you got to punt back to them, and then they score again, and they start getting in the rhythm of knowing how to move the ball. And so much of it is momentum. So I think for us to respond and make sure we kept putting points on the board and kept putting pressure on them, it was big.
It was big, no question about it. And how about that Jamal Williams? He had 20 carries for 67 yards after Aaron Jones went down with a knee injury that unfortunately is not good. An MCL sprain, probably 3 to 6 weeks for the Pack's leading rusher. Ty Montgomery, really nice 37-yard touchdown run, broke wide open, but a little later on, I'm not sure he broke another rib, but he got whacked in the ribs. And Mike McCarthy just said this afternoon, just left the stadium, they're working on it. He's still trying to maybe see what's up there. There's a possibility he could play against Baltimore, but certainly not in the feature role. That's going to belong now to number 30, and he's waited a long time to get his shot.
I feel like a great job. I feel like more to come, and just take my opportunities to come, and just trying to make best of them and make sure that the team wins.
7 yards was his longest rush,
right.
A 20 for 67, but he did not have a negative yardage run.
And he should have had 3 or 4, right? Seemed like he was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, and then I'm just going to break that tackle, going to break that tackle.
7, count them up, 7 broken tackles, according to offensive coordinator Edgar Bennett this afternoon. And if you don't think his pad level's good, just ask Leonard Floyd. It was a 2nd and 4 run. It was on the last possession. He got into his chest, and that's a number 1 pick. Really good linebacker. And he just knocked him on his, I can't say it.
Yeah, and a position that used to just sort of be a forgotten position for the Packers, right? When it was Aaron Rodgers' team, it was all about pass.
Yeah.
Running backs not so much, but now you've got Aaron Jones, Montgomery,
and
Williams.
Tis the season when
Cold,
you've got to
snow,
run the ball. I like the way
tough.
he ran. Yes, as Mike said, he ran in a phone booth and did a really, really good job. Well, defense locked down Chicago's run game. Mike Daniels now on pretty good back-to-back rush defense efforts.
We have a lot of guys that are just playing the game the way it needs to be played. That's, there's no other way around it. The run defense is really simple. You have a gap, be in your gap, and when the ball carries there, get to him with an attitude.
Yeah, 17 rushes, 55 yards, and Howard had a 25-yarder and a 14-yarder.
Yeah.
So that's 39 on 2. So that means it's 15 for 26, like the average.
No, it was great. No,
Yeah.
the rush defense, this was a establish the run, stop the run kind of a game. The Packers were better at it in both regards.
Outran him by 105 yards on the day, and that allowed him to control the clock for almost 36 minutes. And with that run game in cahoots, the pass rush was able to dial up the heat. 5 sacks with Nick Perry recording a hat trick.
The adrenaline is rushing after you get the first one, so you feel like you can't be stopped. You give every opportunity is the best opportunity to make those plays. And so I was just excited to go out there and put my best foot forward.
Yeah, Mike Daniels got one. Devon House got one, but Devon also gave up one. Yeah, the one big play the Bears got, Joshua Bellamy beat Devon on the 46-yard touchdown.
I'm kind of getting over it, but it was more of a me thing, man. I mean, we were blitzing. I mean, he did a good job of selling. It was a double, so he did a good job of selling like the out route, and then turned it up the field. And I'm thinking that once the out route's coming, the ball's coming. I mean, because he really don't take shots, but I mean, good job by them.
Good job by them. They're pros, too. They made plays. Bellamy, nice route. Good throw on time.
Their one big play in the passing game.
That was it.
You can live with that, sure.
Yeah, you can. But it was big plays, few and far between for that Chicago offense. Yeesh, wow. And as for their defense, you know what? Justin McCray, here's a guy, he's a chubby guard that plays tackle for Brian Balaga, and he held Akeem Hicks. He didn't get a sack. Their sack leader, I talked to Akeem in the Bears locker room after the game, and talking about how they're living in the basement at 3-6.
It's not a good feeling to go out with a loss. I always said this is a competitive team. There hasn't been a game that I don't feel like that we've been in except for two. And I would say that we fought to the end. We had an opportunity to win it,
but they didn't. They didn't win it again. And they have lost 7 in a row to the Packers at Soldier Field.
And who knows what happens if John Fox decides not to challenge.
We'll get to that
Yeah,
call.
I mean,
very
you
curious
just
play.
don't know how the game changes from that point on. You never know.
10-10?
Who
it
knows?
would have been? Yeah, big play.
Or
that's
the
for
Packers
sure.
may challenge.
Yeah. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Can you challenge a challenge?
Well, if Fox doesn't challenge that play, why couldn't McCarthy challenge?
He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could.
So it still could have gone in the Packers' favor, even if Fox decides not to go the challenge
But even after Fox, well, he won the challenge.
I know.
But he lost the ball.
Yes.
Could
the
McCarthy
one
have
time
challenged?
you don't want to win a challenge.
And then red flags flying all over the place. Just burn them out. Anyway, Packers.
Yeah. I wish he would have been mic'd up on the sideline so we
Fox?
could hear, because he was real upset.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, he's
not safe for TV upset.
No,
I
I'm
would have
sure
liked to
he
hear.
was. All right, but the Packers do get it done. And Mike McCarthy says, that's only one without Aaron Rodgers. We got a long ways to go.
Hey, we made our share of mistakes. We'll have an opportunity to improve tomorrow as we get ready for Baltimore. But anytime you win a division game, it's important. Anytime you beat the Bears, it's important. And when you win at Soldier Field, it also takes a little chunk of confidence that you can take home with you. So good win today. Proud of our football team.
Well, he should be. An all-time series,
Absolutely.
96-94-6. Packers now up
There you go.
2 on the all-time rivalry. We're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. There's your locker room story. We are live from the Stadium View right here on Holmgren Way. And we welcome our listeners in Wausau and Sheboygan, our sponsors, Robinson's Heating and Cooling, with our double dose of tickets tonight. Thanks again, Daryl. And there's your extra mention there, Gary. We've also got American Metal Roofs, Diamonds and Gold, and Nicolay National Bank. New Era here. Talk about Nick Perry's hat trick. I got a hat trick, 3 hats from our friends at New Era to give away tonight as well. Yes, and we're live from the View, and here they come, Z. Here they come.
Ladies, this is the week at Stadium View. Happens every single year. Deer hunting season kicks off.
Blaze orange goes on, and tuxedos come off.
And the guys' pants come off here at the Stadium View. This Friday night, 7 o'clock, put it in your smartphones, alarm alerts, the all-male review show at the Stadium View. And this just in, the boys from Robinson, they'll be here.
Yes.
Not just giving away extra tickets. They'll be here Friday night,
Wait till
ladies.
you see Daryl's act.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Oh, he's great.
All right. We're going to just take a break, and when we come back, Geronimo Allison joins us from the View. It's the 5th quarter, returning right after this timeout.
We now return you to the 5th quarter, live from the Stadium
go,
View
G.
Bar and Grill. Here are Mark Daniels and Matt Z.
All right, welcome back.
Ow!
Welcome Welcome back. Packers over the Bears, 23-16. Good win for the Pack, 5-4. Still even with the Lions, who beat the Browns, who were tougher than I think Detroit's thought. And the Vikes still 2 games up. They made it 5 in a row with a win in Washington. Case Keenum throwing for 4 TDs in that one. All right, it is a pleasure to welcome, first time on the 5th quarter, but in his 2nd year with the Packers, undrafted free agent out of the University of Illinois. Packers loved him coming out of the draft when he didn't get the call. Size-speed ratio in this guy is off the charts, 6'3", 2+, and he's proven it. Started slowly, practice squatter, got his way onto the active roster, and by the end of the season, he was making plays, folks. His first NFL catch in the end zone for a touchdown. Back this season as a part of the receiver rotation. Please welcome from Tampa, Florida, Geronimo Allison. Hello, G-Mo.
How you doing? How you doing?
Thanks for coming over.
No problem. No problem.
Pressure's off for now. Badly needed day in Chicago yesterday.
Definitely. But I'm doing wonderful today. Victory Monday.
Victory Monday.
We're back on and rolling, so I'm doing good.
All right. Now, you haven't had a Victory Monday for a while. What does McCarthy do for you on Mondays, with Victory Monday?
Usually it's just, the atmosphere is a lot better,
yes.
in the building, the starting point. And just coming in and just reviewing the game. It's like a debrief. It's a communication debrief is what we call it. We go over the statistics and the things that we did well in the game, the things that we can improve, and then we review the film, learn from our mistakes, and then we kind of just go on from there.
So it's not like he brings in donuts for everybody or anything?
No, we actually do our donuts for no turnovers on Saturdays.
No turnover donut day?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No turnovers?
No
or
turnovers.
donuts?
Yeah. So we got donuts coming
You
Saturday.
got donuts.
Looking forward
How about
to
that?
it. Looking forward to it.
Who eats the most donuts on the team on a donut Saturday?
I could guess.
It's hard to say. A lot of us always just scrambling up there. First one, it's first come, first serve. So you get up there. What I do personally is I get up there and I kind of take some napkins with me and I packaged a few, take them home and warm them up for later.
Yes.
You're a single guy. You got to eat.
Yeah.
You got to eat.
Yeah.
Geronimo, Brett Hundley is getting better every day. And I
definitely.
would imagine you caught more passes from this guy than anybody on the team, all the look teamwork you did with them up until he was thrust into the position he's in. Yeah. What struck you about Brett's day yesterday?
What struck me the most when I think about it is just like Dave said in his pregame speech Brett was just Brett yesterday. He was calm, he was collect, and he digested everything as a leader and as a quarterback, and he processed everything well, and he made the plays when we needed the plays to be made.
We're talking David Rye, right?
No, David Bakhtiari.
Oh, David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, he gave the
pregame
pregame speech. He was one of the captains. He gave the pregame speech, and he just asked Brett, you just be your calm, cool Brett self and go out there and just do you.
Do you think it had to be natural just to kind of press when you're thrust in Minnesota, and that had to be just crazy for him.
Yeah.
Then a week preparation, we didn't see much result. 2 weeks preparation, we didn't, but now the snaps are piling up. He's seeing more every play.
Yeah, definitely. And your preparation changes from, a backup from a starter. It shouldn't. But,
it does.
You're just knowing that, some plays I may be in, some plays I may not be on. So you may typically prepare for certain stuff or certain situations that you might get in for. But as a starter, you're preparing for any situation that you may be placed in during the game time. So I'm pretty sure that now he's kind of getting in the feel of his routine, what he wanted, the plays that he would like to run, the plays that he don't feel comfortable running, and then just going out there with the flow of the game and executing and getting the job done.
So when are we going to see you as a Wildcatter?
All this
Cobb stuff.
Yeah, I'm a utility guy right now. So, I'm used for every position. So I go inside, go outside. If somebody's hurt, somebody's tired, coach just throws me in there, and I roll, I flip my brain from inside to outside, and I just roll with it. And any opportunities that I get, I just try to make the most of it.
Then there was really a lot of talk in the wide receiver room. We talked to you guys for the last couple of weeks about you don't have to do more because that means almost infers you're not doing enough right now. But you've got to help Brett. Break tackles, make plays, Cobb's catch early. Perfect example of that.
Yeah.
That just lit a fuse on the whole bench,
Definitely.
doesn't it?
That catch by Cobb set the tone early on. Just him just making that play, making the first defender miss, and then just getting north and going to trying to get the ball in the end zone. That just excited the sideline. It excited the atmosphere of the team, and we just felt comfortable going in. And then just Devontae continued to just make people miss and just get those 1 or 2 or 3 extra yards to move the change.
And speaking of yaks, that's what really struck me about this year's camp for you, and we've talked about that this summer. I mean, you really worked hard on not just running the right route and securing the catch, but suddenly taking it the next level and really making explosive plays by doing something once it's in your hands.
Right, definitely. And just the offseason, that was one of the things that I worked on during the offseason of my game. Just talking with my family and friends. I used to play the game a lot. Growing up, I played a running back before I was a wide receiver, so I was used to making people miss. But as I started to grow, my body started to stretch out. I had to get comfortable with my body, and making that transition from college to the NFL, the people are a lot faster, a lot stronger, and they're flying around a lot faster. So last year, a lot of times I'll be out there running around, and my vision was down, and I'm feeling people, but I'm not seeing people. And this year, going into camp, I just felt more comfortable with seeing people actually around me and putting my foot in the ground and trying to make people miss.
And how about the finish? What did that do for your confidence last year? You finished really strong, wound up with a couple of touchdown catches. Big game in Detroit in the regular season finale.
Just to be blessed enough to get in there in that rotation and make plays and help the team out and win those games down the stretch last year. It helped me a lot this year with just the experience of it and knowing that, being a rookie, that I was able to make plays and I belonged in the league. Just coming in, you want to feel like what's the NFL all about? What is it going to take for me to be successful here? And then when you just take it one day at a time and you just build on your success, you kind of get a feel for it and you just continue to just move forward.
And you're moving forward, that's for sure. Z, what do you got?
What do you remember about the day you signed with the Packers as an undrafted free agent?
I remember a lot of emotion. I was crying, my mom was crying, and just the decision process of me choosing the opportunity to come here. I narrowed it down to Atlanta, the Seahawks, and the Packers, and I spoke with my agent and I thought about it. Okay, do I want to leave from the Midwest and go back down south closer to home? Not really. Do I want to go to Seattle where it's kind of gloomy all the time? It's raining. Not really.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of Seattle yesterday.
Or do I want an opportunity to play for a Super Bowl, play in the playoffs year-round, and have an opportunity to play with a Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers, and catch touchdown passes? And I was like, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, so, yeah.
Brought mom to tears.
So, yeah. You chose 20 below and snow over gloomy and rainy.
Yeah, but
not many people would make that choice.
Me being a Florida kid from Tampa, Florida, from down south, of course I don't like the winter time, but I also have been in the Midwest for like 5 years now. Right. I started off in junior college in Iowa, and then I transferred to Illinois. So I've been up north for some time now, so I know how to manage and get through it.
How long did it take to set in that you just signed with an NFL franchise? I mean, did that take a couple of days? You wake up and all of a sudden, holy, I'm an NFL player here.
Yeah, it took a couple of days, and even when I got here to transition, I think it really hit was after last year. Just the success that God blessed me when I went back home, and the attention and the love and the support staff that I had back home. And just to look some little kid's face, just looking at me like a role model and coming to me like I'm a big superstar, but I still only feel human, and I just try and interact with them as such, not just like a big-time player. And I just going home and feeling that transition of, okay, I am an NFL player, and, it comes with a lot of responsibility.
You're in the position, though, now where you are, you're not going to be bouncing onto the 46 and off. And you're in the rotation now, and you're getting a foothold here, and still a very young player. So, a future. It's not just going to be a little blip on the screen. The average, career is 2-3 years, maybe 3 years. I think you've got yourself in a pretty good position now, don't you? Don't you agree that this could be a pretty long-term deal here?
Yeah, definitely. I feel good about it here. I love it here. The atmosphere, the fans, everything is amazing to me, and just the town itself. I'm a very laid-back, quiet person, so I don't mind going to work, going home, and relaxing, and then studying and playing football as my job. I love just the pace of everything here, and the chemistry and the atmosphere around the organization, and it just makes my job and my day by day that much smoother and that much easier for me.
All right.
Your first career catch was a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, right.
Did you think they were all going to be that easy?
Yeah, really.
Not at all. And when I got in, and it's what's crazy about it is in the week. That week leading up to the game, Aaron told me that he was going to throw that to me.
Really?
He told me, he was like, you're going to score on this play. He asked me what play did I think I was going to score on. I said the play. He said, no, it's going to be this play. And I thought of it like, okay, he said it's going to be this play. And then we called the play, and I wasn't thinking that, okay, he said he was going to throw this to me. I was just out there in the moment. I want to do the right thing. Okay, here he is. He scrambles, react. And he reacted. I reacted. He threw it. I caught it, and I celebrated.
That's right. Yeah, that was an extended play. That was another kind of a breakdown thing where you were coming back across the back of the end zone.
Yeah, right? I had ran my route, finished it, and he kind of got flushed out the pocket to the right, and I just happened to put my foot in the ground, react, and flow with him.
So where is that football today?
I have it zipped up in a trophy case bag. He signed it at the end of last year.
Nice.
And, when I get my man cave one day, I'll definitely gonna frame that.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right. Next contract. Man cave's coming.
Definitely.
Next contract. Geronimo Allison, our guest. We're going to take a break, come back with much more with G-Mo. Don't go away. The fifth quarter returns after this timeout.
We now return you to the fifth quarter, live from the Stadium View Bar and Grill. Here are Mark Daniels and Matt Z.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Geronimo Allison, our guest tonight, but halfway through the show, it's time for our hot and cold plays of the day. You know how it works. You guess the hot play. Take home a prize tonight from Robinson's Heating and Cooling. You also get qualified for a pair of indoor club seats just like these two, but for the Packers-Vikings home finale 2 days before Santa arrives. And once you're in and qualified, don't come back in line, please. Just one time only, but we got them lined up tonight. Looking for a hot play.
Lori is up first.
Lori.
What's your guess?
Brett Hundley's 19-yard touchdown pass.
Brett Hundley's touchdown pass. Yeah, you're right. Hot play was a great example of do as I do, not as I say. Leading just 16-13 in the fourth quarter, Brett Hundley had just scrambled for a key first down and facing 2nd and 9 from the Chicago 19. He looked a lot like the injured Packers quarterback.
Of Hundley. He's in there. And Hundley now rolling right, looking, throws, back shoulder in the corner, and it is a touchdown for Davante Adams. That was an Aaron Rodgers-like throw there by Hundley.
The composure that Hundley shows. It's nice, rolls to his right, eyes stay downfield. And Davante Adams working on forward. Does an excellent job of keeping the drive alive and running a scramble route.
Yeah, that's Fox Sports announcers Tom Brenneman and Chris Spielman on the call of that one. Hundley was kind of, aw shucks about the extended play impersonation.
It's just making things happen. The first read's not there. Second and third, just sort of get out and make something with it.
He made something with it. Lori, our hot play winner tonight. Congratulations. We'll do the cold play a little bit later on. These extended plays look like ad-libs, but they are the furthest thing from the truth, Geronimo. How much do you work on those extended plays? Because the communication was a flick of the wrist from Davante, a point from Brett, touchdown.
Yeah, just throughout training camp, throughout the season, you kind of get a feel for where you need to be when that time comes. Depending on your route, depending on the combination and the concept, you know which way I should pivot out or I should react based on just the concept at the hand. And then a lot of it's just reacting, and your secondary release is getting shed in the defender, because a lot of times once the quarterback leaves the pocket, the defender has the opportunity to grab. If you allow him to grab you, then that takes away for you being a valuable option for the quarterback. But as long as you get your secondary release and you get open, a lot of times quarterback
That's
finds
what Davante did really well on that play, if you watch it again, is that he breaks away from Kyle Fuller, does not give him an opportunity to latch on.
Yeah.
And Brett knows exactly where he's going.
Definitely. And when Davante redirected, he realized that, okay, nobody's here, and I could turn up. I could still turn up again. It wasn't just that first redirection. It was a redirecting, okay, nobody's here. I can still turn up and get in the end zone to score.
And that's one of the toughest things that your position has to learn is where to find those open spaces. You have options on every route based on every coverage you're running into. That's an awful lot to kind of process.
Yeah, it is. You're processing a lot at the same time, but one of the good quotes that Coach Zook always says on special teams is see a little, see nothing, see a lot. So sometimes it's seeing a little bit is allowing you to process the information a lot slower than seeing a lot of things going on and you trying to put all the moving parts together.
Did you have Ron as your head coach at Illinois?
I didn't. Actually, he left before I got there.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Yeah, all right, just before you got there, right?
Yeah.
All right, but he wasn't there for long, that's for sure.
You only played 1 year of high school football, right?
Correct.
Just your senior year?
Correct, yes.
What made you decide to go out your senior year and nothing prior to that?
Well, actually, it wasn't just on my senior year that I went out. I started off on JV my 9th grade year.
Okay.
And I moved up to varsity, but I didn't play any. And after my 9th grade year, I hit my grades. I hit a rock bottom in my grades, and I ended that semester with a 1.4 GPA. And that put me in the hole all the way until my senior year to be eligible. I needed a 2.0 to play in high school, and I struggled through high school, just being in and out and just struggling with academics, being in intensive classes. So once I got the proper tutor and the proper help, just grinding, my high school coach, my head coach's wife actually tutored me along my junior year and my senior year going into the football season, and helped me take extra online classes and get the tutor and the help that I need to get eligible to play my senior year.
And that was probably the reason for the junior college route too, right?
Definitely, just the exposure through high school. I didn't have much. South Florida was recruiting me, but I couldn't meet the academics to go to Division I. So I was at a 7-on-7 camp, and a coach came up to me from the opposite team and asked me did I have any scholarships, and I told him no. And he actually graduated from Iowa Western and asked me would I be interested in going the junior route. I told him sure, I just want to play football.
Right.
And
but then you're on your own with the academic discipline that you had to take care of.
Definitely. When I got out to Iowa Western, I just really, the focus of being away from home and being away from my community, it was rough. So I just had a lot of distractions back home. That long distance from Iowa to Florida just allowed me to really just buckle down, focus on football and my academics. So when I was at Iowa Western, I was able to make the dean's list, got my associate's degree in communication, then went to Illinois and got my bachelor's in communication.
Where's Iowa Western located?
Council Bluffs, Iowa. Like 30 minutes from Omaha,
Impossible to
Nebraska.
get distracted in Council Bluff
Right,
Hospital.
right. And it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot.
So how did you decide on Illinois?
I actually decided on Illinois my freshman year. They was recruiting one of my good friends from DC, and when he left to go to Illinois, I was there, and they kind of left the torch at Iowa Western in my hand to kind of mold some of the guys. And when Illinois was coming recruiting him, I was a young guy going around to the scouts like, please come back and get me, like, watch me, like, you know what I'm saying? I could do the same things that he's doing. I'm just a little younger and the experience of it. And the coaches kind of bonded with me early my freshman year and told me that they was going to come back for me. Early on my sophomore year, they actually came back and offered me a scholarship, and I committed maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that. And I committed to Illinois because once I wanted that transition with a friend to make that transition smoother for me, not going into a new place where every face was unfamiliar. You know, I had somebody that was there a year in advance that could kind of teach me the ropes and kind of give me an extra boost once I got my foot in the door. And once I got to Illinois, the transition was smooth. I had a good relationship with the coaching staff, and I was blessed enough to have a good career there also.
Iowa West, yeah, go ahead, Z.
When did you think that you had what it took to be an NFL player? I mean, when did that sort of really start to become a reality in your own head?
Just going through the process of being a college athlete, sometimes, you know, you watch tape of NFL guys just trying to learn different things to help you out before you get there and then help you out at the level that you're at now, which was a collegiate level. And I always knew I wanted to be an NFL football player. I just didn't know how my journey was going to shape to get me there. And then once I got here and just working with guys here, competing with guys here, and just understanding football and understanding, you know, your opponent that you're going against, and understanding, like, I could watch Jordan Nelson, I could watch Randall Carr, I could watch Devontae, and I could take things that they do well from their game and implement it into mine to make me a better football player. I think it helped me make that transition smoother for me.
But you're a different body type athlete. You're a long strider, big target. So what can you take from the quickness of a Cobb or the just sprint of Jordy or the physical game of Devontae? How do you kind of work that into your game?
I don't shy away from the uncomfortability of doing it. You know,
Right.
Sometimes guys just want to be comfortable with what they do well and do that well. If it's something that is new to me, allow me to learn it, to work on it and get better at it. So a lot of times when I'm not in the game or I'm not in practice and I'm not taking reps, I don't say much, but I'm listening to the coaches and I'm watching those guys, and I'm just eavesdropping and taking little things that they may be communicating about or doing in practice or trying to work on and implementing it to mine, so when I get out there, I could be successful as they are.
Nice.
What's the biggest thing for you that you've learned from year one to year two?
The biggest thing that I've learned is, one, have a routine and continue to stay on your routine. Don't shy away from it. And then always attack. A lot of times as a receiver, my rookie year I was kind of shying away from the physical contact of a cornerback and not really attacking them and allowing their instincts to take over. A lot of times when we win as a wide receiver is because we're in attack mode and we're the aggressor and we're allowing their instincts to take over. So when they are reacting, Coach Zook always says it takes a minute for you to tell your brain what your feet to do. So when you allow that split second for their instincts to take over, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be successful because you know where you're going, you're trying to get there, and you're on a time clock.
So if you're an impressed man, you're going to go at him before he gets locked on you.
Definitely.
You've got to initiate that first contact and then disengage.
Definitely, because if you initiate the speed and the contact, you allow yourself to play on the time clock that you're on with the quarterback. But if he disrupts that time clock that you're on with the quarterback, now everything has to speed up, and you have to make everything and break off your route a little quicker just so you could be on that time clock that you would have been on from the starting point.
And that's what I'm saying about Brett Hundley for the last couple of weeks. You know, if there is press man on the outside or whatever, he's on that same clock you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not being processed fast enough so early in his playing career.
Mm-hmm.
And once he understands how to speed that up,
mm-hmm.
the results are going to come.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the slant routes were there again yesterday
mm-hmm.
on a couple of occasions, couple of post routes on time.
Definitely.
And they weren't there in the first 2 games or so.
And I think that transition comes with us as a wide receiver group making that transition from Brett to Aaron, and from Aaron to Brett, because with Aaron, things are happening a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
A lot faster. He's processing things before they even happen, so you can be quicker and you can be a little sharper with some routes and some of your attention to detail stuff. With Brett, you know, sometimes you have to make sure that you're open. Or he wants to make sure that you're open before he fires the trigger, and it's just that comfortability of having that trust of, I know Devontae is going to win this route. I'm just going to put it out there and let him do his thing.
That's what he said about the long one late. That was
Mm-hmm.
just a trust throw.
It was just a trust thing, and that's the chemistry of these last 2 weeks of working with him in practice and just building that trust.
All right. Looks like the trust is getting built. That's for sure. Geronimo Allison with us. One more segment. We'll look ahead to the Baltimore Ravens. Defense coming to Lambeau on Sunday, and we'll look for a Coldplay winner when we come back to the 5th quarter right after this timeout. All right, welcome back, everybody. G-Bo, our guest tonight. Geronimo, the Illini wide receiver. Hey, we had a hot play winner. We got to get a cold play winner tonight and get you qualified for that grand prize from Robinson's Heating and Cooling. Yeah, it was a cold, wet day, and there were a few cold plays to choose from, in my opinion, in that game. Let's see if we can't get a winner on first try.
Art is up. What's your guess, Art?
The missed field goal at the end of the game.
Yeah, I knew it'd be a slam dunk.
Yeah,
Although there were other candidates. Trevor Davis, punt return from the end zone. What are you doing, Trevor Davis? Anyway, Packers had better think about taking out some malpractice insurance because the field goal operation could lead to heart attacks. After Mason hit from 40, 24, and 50, the big bomb to Davante Adams set up the Pack to finish off the game with a minute to go, but the 35-yard boot was pushed wide right. Crosby said the whole play simply sucked.
Didn't have good operation. Bobbled the snap, and then she probably called fire there. I don't know if the ball ever even really got down all the way. So unfortunate. You know, we need to execute that so that we go up 10 and the ball game's it's over. So disappointing not to hit that, especially with the day that that we had leading up to it.
Yeah, they had some success, but a bad time on that one. The snap wasn't great from Derek Hart, who, keep in mind, is the 3rd long snapper this season for the operation, and Justin Vogel's hold was even worse.
It's unfortunate that's how it ended. We had I think a good day on the field goal unit. Snap wasn't perfect, but I'll take the blame for it as missing the ball. I'll probably catch that ball 100 times out of 100, but in the scenario and everything's slightly off, but I should have made the catch and put it down.
All right, just get it down next time. It's tough. It's just growing pains, but that's our cold play of the day, that missed field goal at the end of the regulation. Way to go, Art. You're
Congrats
in.
to Art,
Congratulations. Hey, Geronimo Allison, our guest today. Very weird week last week, the whole Martellus Bennett thing. How did that go in the locker room? What were your thoughts on all of that?
Actually, we didn't dwell on it much. We made our comments on it in the locker room, but we didn't dwell on it much. We had to move on. We was dealing with other situations.
Yeah, like
other
a
adversity.
3-game losing streak. But
yeah, other adversity that we had to put our energy into. But that's a lot of things. You know, some things in life you decide what you want to waste your energy on and what you don't. And that was one of the things that we didn't really dwell on much.
What'd you think of Marty, though? In the locker room, he was a character.
Yeah, he was a good guy when he was there. I interact with him good. I have a good relationship with him for the most part. But, you know, he made the decision that he made, and I'm pretty sure that they'll be going through a process for a while.
Well, he took some shots at Dr. Pat McKenzie, which I thought were a little much. And now there's, of course, the Packers released him with that designation of failing to disclose a medical condition, which was a rotator cuff, according to some reports, and a shoulder thing that had been lingering. And Bennett said that Dr. McKenzie was really pushing him to play through the injury, but yet he turns around, signs with New England, and said he'd been seeking medical opinions from surgeons around the country to get
6 or
this
7
thing
doctors,
fixed.
yeah.
And then he's activated 3 days after he signs and makes 3 catches with the Patriots. Come on, Marty.
3 catches on 3 targets, no drops. And that was the biggest complaint in Green Bay was the drops.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just never thought his heart was in it here. And then when Aaron went down, hell with it.
It's hard to say.
I
don't want to speak for him. You know, he's made his statement of what he wanted to say and how he felt about the situation.
He made quite a few statements to the Boston media.
That's taking place. But you know, me as a player, that's none of my business. That's his business. I'm gonna allow him to handle it how he want to handle it. And you know, it's whatever is gonna happen. You know, the situation is gonna be handled by the hierarchies.
Yeah, it's crazy business, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And that's what it is. It's a business at the end of the day.
Like Derek Matthews, great kid from Houston, the free agent linebacker, cut on the weekend off the practice squad. They signed him back today.
Yeah.
What the hell's with that?
It's a business.
It's a weird business.
It's a business. They're up there talking. They're up there scheming, trying to figure out different pieces that they want to put together. And nobody ever knows what's going on up there in the stairs. So,
yeah, that's
for
sure. We don't even know what's going on when we talk to Ted, for that matter. So
you got to just go with the flow.
All right. Ravens, go ahead.
You sound like a Seinfeld routine. You know that, right? What's the deal with this guy?
No kidding.
He's on the team. He's off the team.
I know. What is with
So,
the gum?
Geronimo, what do you think about Thursday night football? I know you've only been in the league a couple of years. Ben Roethlisberger came out yesterday, said he wants Thursday night football to go away.
God, what did the Seahawks say?
Doug
It should
Baldwin
be illegal.
wants
Yeah,
it to be illegal. What do you feel about Thursday night football? What have the vets said in the locker room, guys that have been doing Thursday night football for years?
Actually, I haven't really talked much about their opinion on Thursday night football. I haven't really heard any, negative comments in our locker room about Thursday night football. Me personally, I think it's a fast turnaround or transition from Thursday to your next game, or even playing on a Monday night to your next game. But the atmosphere is what you get that thrill and that adrenaline from. Just playing in the stadium at night under the lights on a Thursday, and everybody's there.
Yeah, it's the only game
they're
in
loud,
town,
they're rowdy. Just that chills that you get from being in that atmosphere is, the thrill and appreciation that I get from it.
All right.
So, growing up, who was your favorite athlete to watch?
My favorite athlete to watch was Michael Vick.
Yeah?
Yeah. I played quarterback a lot in Little League, and like I said, I played running back. And just playing a game, his style, the way he played, making people miss, running around.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. He killed these guys at Lambeau in the playoffs.
That's what I was good at as a little kid, and that's how I thrived myself, and that's how I learned to play the game was just in my neighborhood, running around, playing tag, playing tackle, and making people miss.
What's your first football memory?
My first football memory was back when my first year playing. I was second string running back. I didn't play in any games, but my first game that I played in and my first time touching the ball, I scored like a 22-yard run up the middle.
What is it with you? First game, first touch, first score?
And I was wearing number 34 because I like Ricky Williams when he was playing, so I was wearing number 34. Mm-hmm.
If you weren't a professional football player, what career would you be in?
Right off the bat, coming out of college, I probably would have jumped right into coaching, just to give myself some time to help, others that's trying to pursue a career in football, and then just to give myself a little time to figure out what I really want to do in life. And that's what I have a passion for right now is football, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do down the line or a few years from here.
All right.
With Thanksgiving not too far away, what's 1 or 2 food items that have to be on your plate?
I'm I want to have my whole plate covered, honestly. I'm looking to eat a lot come Thanksgiving, but honey baked ham, macaroni cheese, and
2 weeks in a row
some roasted turkey would be some of the things that I would love to see on top of my plate.
Jerry Evans was a Big Mac man for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he said that's all he really wants to eat on Thanksgiving, just mac and cheese.
All right, quick look at the Ravens here, Geronimo. It's an uncommon opponent. They're coming off a bye. A little extra study time, I would think, for this team, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing about it. Take it back to the Bengals week. We had to put in some extra preparation for that because that was an uncommon opponent. And you just have to study harder, see the things that they do well, see, in their division how they play their different teams and the different type of schemes and the coverage that they want to apply, and just learn your tendencies of your matchup that you're going to be going against. Just week in and week out, you have your transition and your preparation, what you want to do. You just want to stay consistent at it, and at the end of the day, go out there and execute it.
All right, finally some win back in the sales, and you're back home. Let's see if you guys can't stack a couple of successes here and kind of put some heat on those Vikings for a little while.
Definitely.
Geronimo, a pleasure having you on board. Guest of the fifth quarter, receive a gift certificate from our friends at Diamonds and Gold. One of the fine jewelers in this town. You'll find them over at Central Drive in Alloway. Enjoy that. Enjoy the week. Congratulations on the success so far. Stay healthy, and see you get another win on Sunday.
Thank you, definitely. Thank you for having me.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Geronimo Allison. When we come back, we're sending 4 people to the Packers and Ravens. Don't go away. We're wrapping it up right after this.
We now return you to the fifth quarter, live from the Stadium View Bar and Grill. Here are Mark Daniels and Matt Z.
15 seconds plan.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Good kid, Eddie Geronimo Allison. I love them. Big
awesome.
hit. Yeah, he was awesome. He was awesome. All right, Ravens coming up on Sunday, high noon kickoff, and they dive back into the AFC North for 3 of their next 4 games. Then we got the Steelers, and then the Brownies and Buccaneers coming up for the Pack before they finish up in the division. Robinson was great tonight. They came through with an extra pair, including 2 indoor club seats. We are going to give those away tonight. First, who's going?
Kim Nelson.
Kim Nelson gets a big roar in the back of the building. Congratulations. We've also got 2 outdoor tickets. Kim won't have to bundle up. Thanks, Robinsons, again. Awesome. Who's going to the game?
Scott Sticka.
Scott Sticka. Well done.
Woo!
Coach say thanks to that table over there. Thanks for coming out. We got the Packers and Ravens. We got another edition next Monday night. Until then, for Matt Z, I'm Mark Daniels. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks,
we'll
everybody.
see you, everybody.